This week, bigonwine is south of the border, down Mexico way. We've got a date with Baja California and an unusual grape variety, and it's coming right up. Hi folks, welcome to yet another edition of bigonwine, the show which, as you probably know by now, brings you news, clues and reviews. Indeed, it tries to keep you up to speed about just about everything that's happening in the world of wine. And my wine of the week for this week is indeed an unusual one, and it's this one here. It goes under the name of L.A. Cetto Petite Sirah, and the vintage is 2016. And this wine comes in for quite a solid price of just under €19 a bottle where I am. It's come all the way, of course, from Mexico. Right, let's see if we can fill in some of the details about this wine. This wine here is indeed produced in Mexico, in the Baja California area, Guadalupe, in fact, to be precise. Guadalupe is situated at the northern end of the Baja California Peninsula, which means it's about 100 kilometers or so southeast of Tijuana and the border with the USA. The grape in question here is an unusual one. It's not very common, certainly as a single variety wine. It's the Petite Sirah, otherwise known as the Durif grape. Now this grape, the Petite Sirah, is not the same thing as the common or garden Syrah. This is a grape which originated in the southwest of France, and it produces, as you can see already from the glass, a very dark, inky, plummy red wine. Now the petite, French for small of course, refers to the size of the grapes which the vines produce, not the vines themselves. It's pretty much a hot climate variety. It's particularly popular in places like Texas and Arizona, California, and also in Brazil, Australia as well. All right, that's the backstory to the wine. Let's turn our attention to the wine itself and take a look at the wine in the glass. Now, as we can see, immediate from looking at the wine, it has a dark red, reddish-purplish color to it, and it is indeed extremely dense. Dense in color, deep reddish purplish, even a little touch of brown there. This is already 2016 vintage, so it's about 4 years old at the moment. Right, let's have a try of the wine in the nose and see exactly how we get on. This is 14% alcohol, so it's fairly heavy duty stuff, of course, in terms of color and in terms of alcohol content. All right, here we go. Now, the nose on this wine is rather unusual. It has a very pronounced, dark, earthy kind of aroma to it. Almost in the direction, my first initial impression was very much of Christmas spices, a kind of a sweet spiciness to the wine here. In terms of the fruit, I think it reminds me very much of dark cherry, maybe a touch of blackcurrant, but more the dark cherry, less of the plum, but there is a distinct earthiness, herbiness to this wine as well. Interesting stuff. Never tried a wine from Mexico before, and this is my first encounter with a single variety Petite Sirah wine. Right, now let's try it in the mouth, see what kind of resonances this creates in the mouth here. Here we go. Quite unusual. Front of the mouth, that kind of dark cherry, almost sweetish flavour is the initial impression, but as the wine unfolds in the mouth, it's the tannic nature of the wine which is revealed more and more. The Petite Sirah traditionally produces rather a tannic wine due to the fact that the berries are relatively small, so the surface area of the skins is quite high in comparison to the actual volume of the grapes. Interesting impressions here developing now in the mouth. It's very, very mouth-filling, this wine. There's a certain smokiness to the wine. Dark cherry, blackcurrant, yes, but smokiness, black pepper. It's an interesting wine because at times it feels tannic in the mouth, slight drying or puckering of the palate, but also at times a distinct sweetness there tends to take over. The finish on this wine is also quite challenging. It's in the direction of mocha or coffee at the very finish of the wine. Very, very enthralling. Never tried a package like that at all. Very dense, very earthy, very herby, touch of smokiness, black pepper, dark cherry, and an unusual coffee mocha finish. Okay, now this is definitely a wine that will benefit from being opened and even decanted an hour or so before serving, and I think the correct serving temperature for this wine is probably at room temperature around the 18 or 19 degree mark. What are we going to be drinking this with? Well, this is the ideal red wine, I think, to go with dark meat. So if you're a lover of beef or lamb, this is a perfect choice. And of course, particularly I would say, given that spiciness, smokiness, I think the obvious choice would also be game dishes, so venison or elk would match up with this extremely well. So maybe this is a wine not to go out and buy for the summer, but certainly for the autumn game, the hunting season, when it gets underway, this would be an excellent choice. Now this is a wine, of course, which you can also keep in cellar for a good few years, and it'll probably improve to some extent as well. All right, let's bring you the heads up on this wine. This is a wine from Mexico that features the rather uncommon Petite Sirah grape as a single variety wine anyway. It delivers big on tannins. It has dark berry flavors with a coffee overlay. It's a good choice for grilled dishes too, so if you're doing some barbecuing, this one might be a nice choice. My verdict, provided you're into big earthy reds, then 4 stars out of 5. Okay folks, many thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's video, and of course this was a little introduction to a Petite Sirah wine produced by Luis Agustin Cetto, all the way down in Baja California, Mexico. Interesting stuff indeed, a little bit different. Okay, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard, then please do feel free to give us a like, give us a big thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share the video around to your heart's content. Please do also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that bell icon and you'll be informed about all future uploads naturally. And I'll be back again, of course, next week with another great Wine of the Week for you. But until we meet again, this is Tony Melville signing off and saying, hey, take care out there, be good to each other, enjoy your wines, and cheers.